oftentimes being told to man up is a derogatory and shaming statement, and I generally don't agree with its use. But there is one time when manning up can make a huge difference in your marriage. I'm Lesli Dories, your marriage coach, and the traditional thing of manning up is to do something that is hard, or in a way that is manly and strong. And that's kind of, when we're thinking about the general definition of masculinity, we do think of it as strong. And there's one area right now that we're seeing all over the place that manning up would make a huge difference. And that is taking accountability. Think about it. Think about the people that you admire, male or female, who can acknowledge when they've made a mistake, who are open to hearing different viewpoints, maybe yours, and they don't get defensive, they don't blame, they don't make it about well, if everybody else just done this thing, then I could have done my thing right. Think about real leaders. Real leaders take accountability. When somebody whether it's your boss or whether it's your spouse or whether it's your uncle or father or somebody that you admire. And part of the reason why you admire them is probably because they do take accountability. When they stand up and say, you know what, I messed up. I'm going to go learn how to do it better. And then they follow through on that. They lead by example. It's not just a title. They just don't have the title of director or boss or whatever. They actually embody it. And this is what real heroes do. Real heroes take accountability. They see something that's going wrong. Maybe they've done something that didn't work, and they own it. And the antithesis, as I said, is becoming defensive. When somebody comes to you and says, hey, in that conversation the other day, when this statement was made, it hurt my feelings. When you take accountability, you don't automatically go into defensiveness. You don't say, well, if you hadn't done that, I wouldn't have had to say this. It's really a case of, you know what, I'm sorry. The three hardest words in the English language, I am sorry. Even if you didn't mean it, even if they misinterpreted your actions, which happens all the time, right? When you stop and you listen to them and you own your part in it, that is what engenders admiration. That is what makes you somebody that the other person wants to listen to and follow. And by the way, part of the accountability is holding other people accountable for their part in it. But you can't hold somebody else accountable, blame, if you're not willing to own your part. It's not real accountability. That's blame shifting, right? It's the defensiveness, it's the whataboutism, it's all that deflection. And by the way, that's a natural response. When we feel like we have been unjustly attacked, it is very common to become defensive. But that is not stepping up. And in fact, maybe the expression shouldn't be man up, it should be step up, right? Step up into the right way of being. Because this is what can make a huge difference in your marriage. If you and your wife are having a disagreement, or she's behaving in a way that is causing challenges, which we do, instead of attacking her or putting it all in her lap, it's like, how am I contributing to this? Back when I was studying to get my marriage and family therapy license, I had lots of people say, "Oh, I can't wait till you get licensed." I go, "No, I can be your therapist or I can be your friend." Because as the therapist, I'm going to say, and your part in it was what? And that's what most of us don't want to see. We're very clear about what the other person is doing. But in a relationship, it's what you bring to the table, it's what your partner brings to the table, and it's what you create together. And guess which part you actually have control over? It's what you bring to the table. And if your partner is misinterpreting it, that's a real thing. But I have never known anybody to successfully argue against somebody else's perception. It's, it just doesn't work. It's like teaching a pig to sing. It doesn't work and it annoys the pig, right? When we won't take accountability, we lose authority. I can't ask somebody else to take accountability if I'm not willing to do it. And this is where we end up in the blame game. Well, if my wife would just stop doing X, or if my husband would stop doing Y, what am I doing? Because when you do something different, it changes the pattern. And when you do it in this very positive way, in this way I am modeling the behavior for you, then that's what's going to make all the difference. So I'd love your feedback about this. I'm not a big fan of the word man up, but hopefully that's what got your attention to watch this video, because it really is about stepping up and being a grown-up. Being a grown-up has nothing to do with how old you are. It has to do with the way you act. And so if you like this, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. If you want to make a comment, please do, because I'm open to hearing your opinion. And until next week, stay loving.